guys, welcome back. If you watched the intro video, you would know that this video is about your purpose. What's your purpose? Do you know your purpose? Um, are you walking in your purpose? And I said I would share mine. So in the last video, I said that I was like a Jonah, and I was like, I'm glad God didn't just have a whale swallow me up, and I went with what God wanted for my life. So the reason why I say that is because if you don't know the story about Jonah, God came to Jonah and told him to go to Nineveh to speak to his people, to cry out to his people because of the wickedness. So I'm smiling because the story is always funny to me every time I talk about it or just read about it, because Jonah arose, like God said, but instead of going to Nineveh, he went to Tarshish. And it's funny because like when I was reading it, I'm just like, okay, before I saw that he didn't do what God said, I'm like, okay, he's getting up and he's getting to do it. And he gets up, but he does what he wants to do instead. And so it's funny because that's exactly what I did. It's like different ways God was telling me, different ways God was showing me, Chelsea, I want you to do this. Chelsea, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. And I'm just like, okay, I get up, but instead of doing exactly what he says, I do what I want. Or I pick the parts of it that sound good and I go with that, because my thing was I was thinking I was inadequate. I couldn't do it. I had things I needed to work on. And so I'm just like, well, how can I do this? Example, speaking. I speak all the time. But to speak and give messages and share my thoughts and all that stuff, I'm just like, I'm not even in a certain place right now in my life to be doing that. Who's going to listen to me? I need to get better with doing this. Or I should be reading my Bible more. Or I'm not, just all these things that came to my mind of not. And instead of going by what I am and what God asked me, he didn't say, I didn't ask you what you were. I'm telling you what you are and what I need you to do right now for my kingdom. And so it's just, I really had a Jonah moment because I tried to get away from it. I tried doing my own thing, and consequences will occur in my life. And nothing extravagant, nothing super horrible or anything like that, but I would face it one way or another, or it will come out, people will come up to me and ask me things. Or I remember when I'm a mimer, and I actually started off as a praise dancer and transitioned into mime, and I just became a dancer, and I actually got my degree in dance. So before I started taking mime seriously, like as serious as I am now, I would just do it as, a sport kind of. Like it was just for fun. And I remember one year, I think I was 24, 25. I think it was around that time. I really wasn't taking it serious. And I told myself I wanted to take a break. I don't want to mime anymore. I'm just gonna take a break. I'm still gonna attend the church that I was going to at that time, but I'm not gonna dance. I'm not gonna mime. And nobody really knew I was a mimer, because the funny thing is, to me, I look the same when I have paint on my face. I don't look any different. But to other people, they didn't know it was me. The only way they could tell it was me because I was the smallest, and because at the time I wasn't locked. So my hair was curly, and I used to wear it out of my face in a puff. And they'd be like, so if they saw me with the puff, they knew I was that mimer. But I wouldn't tell people I mime, because I'm just like, well, they don't need to know. And I used mime like to hide behind the paint, because I had stage fright. It was crazy. I had stage fright, but when I got up there to mime, I was fine. I was fine, except for the eye contact thing, which I'm working on. But I took a break from mime, and during that time, I was like, I'm not dancing at all. People kept coming up to me, asking me to dance to their churches, teach dance. It just was coming in all different directions, and I'm just like, no, I know I said I'm not dancing, I'm not miming, So why do people keep coming up to me? Why am I keep being asked to do things? Why is things being sent to my emails? Why? Just why? And I was getting annoyed. Like, I don't want to do this. I want to take a break. And then I just started laughing because, not like in a crazy kind of way, but because it's like, this is what you don't want to do, but this is what God needs you to do. And it kept happening. So finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it back up again, and I've been with it ever since, and growing it and strengthening it. And it's it's coming, it's gonna come to you whether you want it to or not. The only difference is if you're going to accept it. Like Jonah, he ran from it, got swallowed up by the whale. God let the whale spit him back out, and then eventually he was like, okay, God, I'm going to do what you said. He could have said no again. I don't know what the consequence would have been if he said no, but he could have said no again, but he agreed to it. And a lot of times, I was just telling this to my brother the other day. For me, I didn't know if I would like my purpose. My purpose is dancing. I'm a mimer, dancer, praise dancer. I'm an encourager. I'm a helper. And honestly, I feel like I may be a writer in there somewhere. I feel like I'm still unfolding different gifts and things that God has for me. And it's coming to me in various ways, or being introduced to me in various ways. But it was just hard because in all of those things that I have the ability to do, there was a point where I said, okay, I'm going to choose this, I'm going to choose this, I'm going to choose this. Okay, if he wants me to write, I'll write this, but I won't speak on it, or I'll say this, or I'll dance, but I only dance here. And let me think, what else? Oh yeah, and I draw. So I'm just like, okay, I'll draw things for myself. Like, I made this shirt. When I first made this shirt, I only wore it at home. Everything, all my Christian apparel, I was only wearing at home. Not because I was ashamed, but just because I didn't feel like it was good enough to be public. I didn't want people to ask me where I get it from or who made it, because if they asked me to make it, I don't know if it was going to be up to par to their expectations. And I wasn't confident, there's the word, confident enough in my gifts and my abilities, which is crazy because it's like, if God gives it to you, why do you lack the confidence? Mindsets. I spoke about that in the last video. It's the mindset. The mind is very powerful. It's very powerful. So in training up myself and building up myself, I also have to train my mind and build my mind mentally and spiritually, because it's like, anything that I came up against or wanted to do or felt strong enough to do, when it came time to do it, something entered my mind or came across that deterred me from it. And I said this before, and I also heard it from someone, I'm not sure who, but anytime that you're doing God's work or something comes up that is dealing with God's work, I'm at a place now where I'm like, be prepared to fight against the enemy, because it always and never fails. Every time something comes up dealing with God's work, something is always going to be an opposing force to allow you to go forth. And example, last year in September with my church, I went, because I said I'm a dancer, we traveled to St. Louis to do ministry there. They was having, it's called Heart of Worship. And it was an event where you have all these dancers and mimers, and they all present or minister a song. And in the end, we all come together as one big group and minister a song. So the song that I was doing was Gracefully Broken. Gracefully Broken. I think it's by Tasha Cobbs. Oh, it doesn't matter. And it was funny because before that we have to give our songs. I had already given my song. I was actually gonna do I don't know the song off the top of my head. I really just drew a blank. But it's by Dante Bowe, and I was gonna do a song by him. And last minute I changed. I always do this. I always change it last minute. I'm just like, what, God, what is it that your people need? This is what this that's the song I wanted to do because it felt good, and I'm like, ooh, I can do this, and have people come in. I was visualizing the scenery, the state, like how I was gonna present it, and I was just like, no, I'm putting too much of myself in it. Strip that away. God, what does your people need? What do they need to hear? What is somebody going through? What do they need? So as I'm doing the song, I come out, the music starts. When the music starts, I'm miming. Literally, not even 20 seconds in, I feel my legs locking up. Like legit locking up. Like I cannot move. Like if I'm standing right here, that's how I was. I could not move. So I'm like in my mind, this is not the first time this happened. This is the first time this happened to this capacity, but I experienced a little bit of it before, but I didn't really understand what was going on, and now I knew it was an attack. And in my mind, I'm just like, no, I'm finishing this song. So I'm doing the song, and there's this one part where I was stretching out, like I'm reaching out, and I could, because I couldn't move, I'm actually grabbing my legs and pulling them, like dragging them. But I incorporated it so it looks like it's part of the dance. But people don't know I am fighting. I'm on a spiritual attack right now, and I'm at war up there while I'm miming, and I'm pulling myself, and I'm doing expression because it was painful. It was painful. And then when I finished, I was having a little bit of trouble breathing and everything. People that were with my dance ministry, they helped me out, and I didn't tell them to afterwards, but I couldn't even walk. My legs felt like noodles. Like they were both, one person was on this side, one person was on this side helping me, and I was just like, and I experienced it at least one more time after that, which took me out for 6 weeks. That's another story time I'll tell you guys about. But it's like you have to prepare your mind for what is to come. And it may seem scary walking into your purpose and fulfilling your purpose, but I promise you'll love it. You'll love it. And that's one thing that was a factor for me too. I didn't know if I would love my purpose. I'm just like, well, God wants me to do these things. I don't even know if I'm going to like it. What if I don't even like it? Like, I have to do this because I'm called to do it, but first off, I don't really want to. And then what if I don't like it? But it's because it's specifically designed for you. God knows what you need. He knows what you want. He knows what you need. He knows Jeremiah 29:11. He knows the thoughts he has for you, thoughts of peace and not of evil. And so because of that, what he's bringing to you, what he has to offer you is peace. It's going to be peace. It's not evil. It's not something. He's not going to give you something and he knows, oh, this is going to destroy them. They're going to hate this. They're going to have a miserable life. That's not his character. Knowing God's character will allow you to know what you should and should not be doing. It'll also help you. It'll help guide you to your purpose. If you know God's character, you can look at something and say, that's not even God's character. His name ain't even on that. I'm not touching that. I'm not doing that. I'm not dealing with that. You're more aware of what you should be doing. And so he handpicked what he has for you because he already knows his thoughts for you. He already knows you by name. He created you. So you don't have to be afraid or worried or thinking that you're not equipped or capable or if you'll even like your purpose because it was designed for you. Once you accept it and say yes, it all flows. It'll flow. I promise you, it'll flow. And those who's in a place of their life where they're battling it, just keep seeking God and prayer about it. Just keep seeking him about it. For me, when I was battling it, it's like I heard what he was saying. I knew it. And I used to tell my brother all the time, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. He's like, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. And he would just be smiling, yes, you do. I'm like, no, I'm so serious. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yes, you do. And it's like, here's the thing. I knew what I was supposed to be doing, but because I was battling it and I was being rebellious towards it, I was copping out by saying I didn't know. There was a part of me that knew this is the angle I should be moving, and this just take the step. Looking at, and I'm a person, I have to look at what's in front of me. Sometimes I look ahead, and because I'm a planner, I have to have everything organized out. Sometimes, I can go with the flow, but there are times when I have to have things planned out. But too much at once can be overwhelming. So my purpose, looking at it and getting a revelation of my purpose all at once was overwhelming, because I'm just like, I don't know where to start. I don't know how I should go about it. I don't know. It's so many different things and so many different outlets. God, what do you want me to do first? Where should I start first? Even with these videos, I'm just like, where do I start? And it's like, well, Chelsea, you already have a channel. How did you start with that? Just start. Sometimes we overthink things and try to figure out what and when and where. And God is just like, just take a step. Even if it's asking him for direction, but just to sit on it, just be like, I don't know. Well, you're wasting time. Number one, and number two, it's like there's moments within what he's asking to do that, okay, how should I say this? Things happen at certain times. God has his timing for everything. There's things he needs you to do that are alignment with his timing. It's gonna get done. It's not that if you don't do it, it's God just erases it. No, if he said it, his word does not come back void. It's gonna get done. But I don't want to be a procrastinator in the kingdom. I don't want to be someone who, like, I feel like because I waited a long time, I did miss out on some blessings. I don't feel like God did not take his hand off of me. He gave me grace. He gave me mercy. He gave me second chances to get it right, to come to him, to listen and obey him. But I do feel like there are some blessings that I could have had or missed out on because of my lack of obedience. And procrastination is a form of disobedience, because if God says do it now and you're like, I'm going to do it tomorrow, that's disobedience. He said do it now. And that was my biggest thing. I would do it, but it wasn't when he said to do it. And then not always about us. And I had to take myself out of that too. It's, even though it took me a long time to get to my purpose, it's not about me. And because I like to help others, and I do want to see others succeed, I want to see other people come to Christ, I want to see people do well, I had to take myself out of it. Yes, Chelsea, you may not like to speak all the time. And no, you may not want to get back on YouTube or do videos, but it's not about you. So if this helps other people, if I can encourage other people, if I can let my stories and my testimonies and experiences encourage other people, then I want to do that. Despite how I feel, I want to do that. And in doing so, I'm going to enjoy it. This isn't so bad, doing the videos, it's not so bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. But it's an adjustment, because I have to change my plan. Like, the plan that I thought I had for my life, God is like, I have something better. And the whole like icing on the chocolate cake is the fact that because God wants what's better for you and he knows what's best for you, I am okay in accepting this, despite how I feel right now, because I know this is a temporary emotion to a long-term gift, an experience, because he chose me to do it first off. But I know that it's gonna come with so many positive things, because God is a good God and everything that comes from him is good. So I know that in doing so, I can expect nothing less but the best. And that's what I really want you guys to take away from. If you are struggling with your purpose, just understand God has your best interest at heart. He loves you. He wants what's best for you. He planned it out for you. You just have to say yes and trust the process. There are times you're going to be going through things that's not going to feel good. You're not going to understand it, and it may seem kind of rocky and rough, but if you keep trusting God, the process to your plan, you will see it begin to unfold. Things in my past, um, I'm 31 now. Things in my past from when I was 24 and I didn't understand, now I'm seeing things unfold and I'm just like, yo, I remember that. And now I understand why. You see why. You understand why things had to happen. Things had to unfold. You'll see it all. And this will tie into my next video. And I was gonna give that a title, but I'm gonna skip that for the following week because the next video I actually want to share a testimony slash story of my rocky road. And when I had mentioned that I was dancing and I couldn't move my legs, and the last time it took me out for 6 weeks, I want to share that with somebody because everything that was tied into that happened with that followed that, led me to the mindset change I have now. It wasn't easy, and I do feel like it will help somebody to hear what happened and how I overcame that and the place that it brought me to now. So stay tuned for the next one. If you guys have any comments on this one, any ideas or topics, anything that you just want to hear, or struggling with prayer requests, you can put them in the comments. If it's personal or you don't want everybody reading your comment, you can also email me. I'm going to put that also in the description. And if you have a prayer request that you want for me to read and pray over, you can email those to me if you don't feel comfortable putting them in the comments. I will see it. I will respond to your comments or to your emails. Have a blessed day, and I will see you guys in the next video.